Today we're taking a look at this upgraded physical buttons for your Tesla Model 3 and Model Y with storage space here, and this is completely wireless. This actually just slides in and out over there with a built-in battery, and everything is transmitted through Bluetooth where you can control fully the Tesla, including latching, unlatching the front door, the back door, the dome light, the trunk front, folding mirror, glove box, preconditioning the car, changing the driveway mode. You can do a lot with this button, including you can control the front passenger seat without needing to install anything on the seat itself. So you can just unfold, go towards the front, recline. So you can do a lot. So this is everything that the kit comes with. Of course, it has got all the wirings. These are the buttons. So this is the one that goes on the rear OBD. We're gonna make a Y connector and then plug this into this little Bluetooth receiver box, and then we'll just plug this in. And what this does is now this whole unit is gonna be wireless. When you press on the button, it sends a signal to this unit, then unit processes it, sends the signal through Tesla, and it matches the Tesla's code so it can open the door and all that function that we'll go over in just a second. So really nice idea, no wire required. This is completely wireless, a big upgrade from the last system we have. They send you a pretty decent instructions manual. It has got all the warnings and the functionality. This was pretty helpful to read what everything did. They have a QR code. I got excited, maybe that's so I can program the buttons, but it is not. It's just so that if Tesla breaks your software on this thing, you can use that to upgrade it. It only works for Android, by the way. You got to download an APK, of course, like always, and then they just have some of the instructions here. So, and then they send you a pry tool to remove that rear OBD port cover, and this is the buttons here. So this is really nice. It got the storage, and then this is the non-slip mat that they have put in here, so you can remove this if you want, but this allows your phone to not slide when you're putting your phone, sunglasses, whatever you want to put, and it just looks like this. There are those multifunction buttons. We'll go over each of those functionality here in just a second. When we flip this to the back, you see a input here, and you're like, wait a minute, do we have to connect this? You don't. This is just so that you need to charge this battery. So this is a rechargeable battery that they put in here, and whenever this dies, that's when you gotta plug this in and charge. And I think the only way you will know this died is if the buttons stop working. So you got that gauge in there, and everything else is just a very simple storage unit with the buttons. And how this works is you just literally slide this into the central console behind there, and it just stays in place. And if you look at it here, this has got a little spring to hold this in place. One more thing that they send you, which I think is a good optimization of the storage spaces, they send you some metal pieces like this. There is a magnet here, so if you look at it from the bottom, there is the magnet there. And what this metal piece does is if you want to stick this behind, let's say your toll passes, or if you have a garage opener or something that you frequently need to pull out and work, but you don't want to lose it, then you can put this glue on the back, and then this space that you have, the metal space, what you do is actually this sticks into its place. So you just stick this, and then you got yourself another storage for those ETC type of equipment. So that's what that functionality is. Now let's go ahead and install it. So installation of this part is super simple. As you see, look at it here, there is a little spring that is holding this in place, and you just got to expand this spring a little bit. It'll grab onto the rear part of our screen, so just right there, and this is supposed to just easily slide in this piece here. So we'll take a look, and lo and behold, we're done. So that is the entire installation process for that piece there. Let's just install the rear Bluetooth unit. So for this connection, you got to reach behind here, and we're going to be tapping into that bracket. We're going to remove that bracket and then create a Y connection. So we're just going to use the pry tool that they sent and pry this part out. Depending on how many times you have done it, this may be super easy, or it might take a little bit of time. So you just pry this out from the top, and you expose this blue plug. That's where we're going to make this bypass. For this part, we are going to pinch on the middle tab of this unit here. That's the Tesla's OBD connection. We're gonna remove this. We're going to grab the new connector, and we're going to just use this to connect it in place. Then we're going to grab the male connector and simply create a Y connection here by pushing this into its place. There you go. So that is the entire connection. Now we're just going to use this plug to just plug it into this Bluetooth unit. There you go. We saw some light here. That means this connection is working. That's it. Super easy installation. We're done. Now these buttons are functional. You can, of course, use this to store your wallet. You can also put your phone over here, any jewelry that you want to store temporarily. This is a really great place. So it adds an extra storage, which is really nice. Now, let's go through the buttons. One thing I don't like it already is how dim this is. Like, they could have spent a little bit more time just putting some sticker around it to showcase what these were. Like, look at how dim this is. So come on, you can do a better job than this. So the functionality is pretty straightforward like before. The button number 1 over here, the leftmost one, unlatches the front passenger door. So just pressing on it once, you heard the unlatching, and you see that it unlatched the front passenger door. This one does the rear passenger door on the left side. This was a feature missing on the last one, so I'm glad they added that. So just press once, and it unlatched it on the rear passenger door on the left side. This is the rear passenger door on the right side. So that got unlatched too, as you see. And this last one is the front opener as well as the glove box. So if I press on this just once, the glove box opens and unlock the glove box there. Then if I press on this twice, so double press on it, opens the front. So that unlatches the front here. So those were the 4 buttons. Moving on towards the right buttons here, there are 4, and this first one is for the seat, the passenger seat, to go up and down. So let me zoom out just a little bit to show you this. So if I press on this button here and hold it, as you look at it, the passenger seat goes towards the front. One thing to note is that there is no different buttons now for the recline as well as the forward. So if you look at it here, this seat is actually reclining front and pushing the seat towards the front. So there's no 2 buttons to differentiate that. So just keep that in mind. Now, if we double tap on the same button here, this is when we can window lock this. So double tap, we lock the windows on the back. So now we can't roll the window, and we saw that happen right here. So it actually showed that on the screen as well. So that's window lock. And then this button here, next button, is the one that actually pushes the seat towards the back. So if I press and hold, it pushes the seat, but it also reclines it back. So just keep that in mind. It's reclining back as well as pushing it back. But nevertheless, I think that is a really great solution. And then if I double tap on this, that is when the battery preconditioning starts. So if you're going to a non-supercharger Tesla station and you want to double tap this, it will start the battery conditioning process. This next one opens the trunk if we just press it once. So pressing it once, it opened the trunk, and that got reflected there. If I press it just once again, it closes the trunk, and you see the animation on the car there. So it closed the trunk. And then this next one, if I double tap on this button here, that is when it takes you to the sports mode. This only works for performance models, so it won't work for mine. So double tapping takes you to the sports mode. And then this final one is for the mirror as well as the dome light. So if I press on this just once, the dome light turn on and off, and that is reflected here on the Tesla. So again, if I press it again, the dome light turn on, dome light turn off. And then this next one, if I press it twice, that is what folds and unfolds the mirror. So if I press on this twice, as you see, the mirror's folded, and then twice unfolded, and that got reflected there as well. So those are all the functionalities on these new buttons. All right, so let's start with the good, and then we'll move on to the bad about this product here. So first of all, easy installation, love it. No more wire routing. I didn't have to remove the side panel. It was just plug and play installation, just goes in the back, no wires, especially for the seat control. I am so glad they figured it out without needing to route that cable all the way to the side of the seat panel, because I do not like that install. The process is tedious, and this just makes it so much easier that I didn't have to tap onto that side seat panel. It just worked just with the Bluetooth. So I'm glad they are mapping the Tesla software to figure out where that is connected. Good job on the installation side of things. The functionality is great. We'll come to that here in just a second, but just for basic functionality, including unlatching the door, the trunk, the glove box, dome light, things like that, I think it does an excellent job. Especially for people who work for ride-sharing companies such as Uber, this is come in handy because you can then unlatch all the doors for your passengers to go in, because sometimes people struggle to open the Tesla doors. I think combining the buttons with the storage space is a pretty genius idea. You can store your phone, your sunglasses, your wallet, whatever you want to store in the front. I think that just adds that much space, which I really like. So that was a good job on the design. And overall design, the aesthetic of it, it blends in with the Tesla. It doesn't stand out like the last buttons we reviewed where it was silver button. It looked like one of those cassette players, like the older car style. This one actually looks modern, and it fits within the interior of the car and not requiring any of the cable. Again, it has got built-in battery, and it connects with Bluetooth. That is a big plus for this installation. All right, so the bad about this display, first of all, as I said earlier, I do not like how dim the buttons are. They got to put better stickers there, unless they are trying to reprogram them in the future, but I don't see that. It looks like engraved, so just put better sticker. You don't even have to rely on the light. Just put better sticker there, and that design, simple thing that they missed just from the start. I wish they put a little bit more thought into that. Second is we lost functionality. The buttons, the silver buttons that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, I love that button because it had two functionalities I want. The wiper control, which is huge for me, and then defrosting and defogging the car, because when I'm on a road trip, if I want to defog, I gotta look at the screen, and just taking that much time away from the front, it just makes me uneasy sometimes, especially if it is foggy out. And I really love that about the buttons. I could just look at it very quickly, and then without fumbling through the menu item, I can just press the button. So I really love that, and they took it away on this upgraded version for some reason. Same with wiper control. I do not like touching the screen for wiper control, and I had that with the other button. So I don't know. Come on, they got that was such a hit product with so much functionality. We just didn't like the aesthetic and the installation. They took care of that. They made the aesthetic better. They made the installation easier, but we lost some functionality. So hoping that in the next iteration of this, they allow that functionality where I can just push it, wiper control, and defogging and defrosting the climate control. That's all I want. So for those of you who have been asking me, does this work on a swivel mount? Unfortunately, it looks like it does not. So sorry about that, because this kind of attaches here. There's just not enough room because the swivel mount uses this bracket in the back instead of just having a smooth curvature here. So this does not, as you see, like no matter how much I push, this is not going to go in, and then this is going to interfere with the moment. Even if this was to fit, let's say, it would still interfere with the swiveling of the screen. So that does not work. As always, I'm really interested in knowing your feedback, your likes, your dislike, future iteration of this product. Obviously, our feedback is working because they are definitely headed in the right direction, and I like this product, but losing some of those functionality bumps me out, and I hope that they're continually making those progress. So instead of losing the functionality, they're adding new functionality to product like this, and just having those feedback, those comments, I mean, it greatly helps because we complain about something and they make it right. So please continue to do that if you want to see more products evolve over time. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel, share our videos, comment, feedback. Anything you can do to engage with our videos greatly helps, and I will see you on the next one.